What is up guys, Mark here. Today I'm going to be going over my top 12 songs for Heat 3 of the American Song Contest. This is something that I wasn't sure I was going to cover. Of course, a lot of the commentary that I've been doing lately has been on Eurovision, but since the American Song Contest is ongoing, I figured why not? And of course, that is my country. I am from the USA. I wasn't sure how good the American Song Contest was going to be, and I gotta say, I've been pleasantly surprised by some of the songs we've gotten in Heats 1 and 2. So without further ado, let's get into my number 12 spot. In this spot, we have Colorado. So there's a lot of reasons why Colorado is so low on my list. The lyrics are one of them, but also I had pretty high expectations because I heard Riker Lynch was going to be in the American Song Contest. I'm sure everyone knows Ross Lynch, so I did have kind of high hopes for this song, hoping that it was something different and new. However, those hopes were a little bit misplaced. I think this song is really generic. Just from the snippet, of course, we don't have the full songs yet. I was really disappointed with this, and the lyrics are just so flat and generic. It was hard for me to even finish the snippet. I will say it got a lot better once we got to the chorus, but even the chorus is really shallow. I mean, the lyrics are like, I feel the love right now, it feels so good to be alive, or something like that. Because this song is super uninspired, and for me it just sounds really boring, I don't like this song at all, I'll be honest. The live performance might change my opinion, but going off the snippet and the song itself, this was just a bit of a letdown for me. That's why this ranks really low on my list. With that, I'm gonna give this song a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's necessarily bad, right? I just don't think I can get into this, and I hope that will change on Monday, but right now, this is not for me at all. With that, we're gonna move on to my next spot on this list, which is South Carolina. I think it was just a bad snippet because the song sounds super repetitive. The big thing here too that I don't like about this song is just that it sounds like it's copy and pasted from 2013. Like, did we go back a decade? This is not at all my cup of tea. I just think this is so flat and so uninspired, and I really don't want to be negative on a lot of these songs. Like, the production value is there. I mean, that's one thing about the American Song Contest I've enjoyed, is that all the songs have pretty good production value, but yeah, this is not it. This is not it for me at all. I give it some points above Colorado just because I guess I can listen to this song like if I'm at a department store or something. If I have nothing else to listen to, like, it's kind of fun. So I guess that kind of fun factor gives it a bit of an edge, makes this go from like a 6 out of 10 to a 6.5 out of 10. But overall, I really do not click with this song. I think it's so generic and just so dated too. Like, just again, really reminds me of something from the 2010s. So with that, we're gonna move on to my next spot on this list, which is, okay, now this song actually surprised me. I actually don't mind it so much at all. Maybe it's not that exciting, I guess, but like, I like this vibe. This is a song I can see myself listening to. Right now, again, I don't like it as much as some of the other songs on this list, but I like the singer's voice and I like the guitar and I kind of like that acoustic sound to it. That is something that I really enjoy personally, and so not a bad song at all. Definitely one of the surprises here. I guess one of the bigger downsides is like this song does sound like background music, a song that I can hear myself listening to in a restaurant. So for that, I give it a 7 out of 10. With that, we're going to move on to my next spot on this list, which is Maroon 5. Excuse me, I mean South Dakota. One thing I will say right off the bat, first impressions, I appreciate the energy. This doesn't sound boring at all. I will say it does sound a lot like Maroon 5, and I'm not sure if this is really my type of music, but I do think this is pretty solid. The energy's there. Overall though, it's not necessarily my cup of tea like I mentioned. I don't know how unique it is. The lyrics are okay, kind of cheesy, like a bad girl who's good for me. Okay, that's the best you could have come up with. Again, not my favorite song, but I like the energy. I do think there's going to be a lot of energy on stage too with this band, so I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10, and I think I can find myself enjoying it. Again, just some things with the lyrics I'm not too fond of, but I think it's good for what it is. Definitely not as much of a background song as the other songs that came before this were, so I'll give it credit for that. That we're going to move on to my next spot on this list, which is Tennessee. Now, full disclosure, I don't usually listen to country music, not that much at all really, but I love this guy's voice. That's the big thing that stuck out to me with this snippet. I think this has potential. This sounds good. With good stage presence, with good staging, this can really be elevated and could be a contender for the qualification. I think that the singer is talented, and he elevates what might otherwise be another generic country song. So for that, I give the song an 8 out of 10. I think this is objectively good. Maybe not fantastic, but it's good. I can see myself listening to this. So with that, we're going to move on to the next spot on this list, which is Louisiana. There is energy here, there is sass here, there is something here that is tangible, and I'm not sure what kind of style of music this is. I've heard this type of music before and I really like it. I don't think the snippet really gave away too much about like what the song is going to be like overall. That's because the snippet is pretty repetitive, and I think that's really because the snippet is just of the chorus. I don't want to call this song repetitive just yet because the snippet is just a part of the song, but overall I think this has a lot of potential, and I am looking forward to the staging of this song. If Brittany brings a good performance performance. If there is great stage presence, then this could be a contender. Right now, I just like the style of music. I'm not sure if I really like the song itself. I really have to hear more than just the chorus, but just from the chorus, it still sounds good. I give this song an 8 out of 10. It isn't fantastic in my opinion, but it is good. So that's why it's in this kind of middle category. So with that, we're going to move on to the next spot on this list, which is Delaware. Two things about Delaware is energy and vocals. This song has that energy, kind of that momentum, sort of like what Louisiana had, but this snippet we got does display the singer's vocals just a little bit more. And I like that. I think right when the snippet starts, we hear those good vocals. Also, I will say I did see the rehearsals. The vocals weren't totally on point in the rehearsals, I'll be honest. I don't want to judge too much on that. Again, that's also just a snippet of the rehearsals, but I think that the song does display a wider range of vocals than some of the other songs on this list, which I appreciate a lot. It has those rock elements, which I really enjoy, and that coupled with the singer's voice just makes this song quite well done in my opinion. Not totally my favorite, but still pretty darn good. I do have high hopes for this song. I hope it ends up better than the rehearsal that we got. I really think this does have potential. So then we're gonna move on to my next spot on this list, which is Florida. Now, Florida, I enjoy the Spanish elements. I mean, I grew up speaking Spanish, so I obviously love the representation there. The only thing though is that this song is kind of flat. Now, maybe I had my expectations high when I saw this artist, and I kind of expected something similar to like Chanel from Eurovision in Spain. This was not that. For whatever reason, I did not get as into this song as I thought I would. This is coming from a Latino. This song, honestly, for me, is a bit boring. Obviously, I give it a lot of points because it has the Spanish elements. I obviously love hearing the Spanish language and music, and especially in a contest which is almost entirely dominated by English. But I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not bad, but it just doesn't blow me away. I just didn't get into it. I didn't find it that energetic, that exciting, and that was disappointing for me. I think I might enjoy watching it live. I saw a bit of the rehearsal, and that looks solid. I guess I just kind of was hoping for a more danceable track and something a bit more upbeat. I don't know, this just wasn't it for me. I'm not sure why. So then we're gonna move on to my next spot on this list, which is New Jersey. Now this is cliche done right. I actually like this a lot. From the second I played that snippet, I was like, okay, I am listening. That caught my attention instantly. It stands out among the other songs in this heat because it is, I guess, maybe a pop song. I'm not sure what genre you would classify this as. There are songs kind of like it. The lyrics are pretty whatever, but the song sounds really good. For whatever reason, it clicked with me. Kind of like That's Rich from Eurovision. The song, yes, is a bit poppy and a bit maybe generic, but it's good. Especially as the snippet went along. I liked it more as it went along. I didn't get bored of it. Sonically, there's an atmosphere to it that a lot of the other songs don't really have. And the production value is there. This has great production value. And yeah, overall, I like this. I think this artist can do a really good job, especially if she pulls this off live. I also really like her voice. She has a really nice voice that goes very well with this song. I also saw a clip of her rehearsal, and I thought that was really good too. I think this is a bit underrated. I haven't really seen people putting this in their tops as much, but this is good. I give this a 9 out of 10 because I actually really like it, and I am looking forward to seeing it on Monday. With that, we're gonna move on to the next spot on this list, which is Alabama. Now, I love a good duet. I actually was really impressed with this snippet. Not so much like the main part of the snippet. I thought that was really, really good, but where the snippet cuts off, it cuts off right as the song is starting to pick up and they're starting to hit some high notes. That's when the snippet ends. And I was like, wow, I really wanted to hear more. This was the first of the snippets that made me feel like, okay, I want to hear more. I think the song is really nice to listen to. This is objectively really, really good. Cannot wait to see this on stage. I want to see the chemistry between these singers. I want to see the energy in their performance. I think this has a ton of potential. Alabama, wow. I don't know what I expected from Alabama, but this has exceeded my expectations. I actually really like this song. I think that there is something there. There is that X factor. But the thing is, I want to hear more just to make sure. But again, the snippet was solid. Like, that was good. That was well sung. That was well produced. 9 out of 10 for that one. I think that was really, really good, and I do want to see more. With that, we're going to move on to the next spot on this list, which is Alaska. I love this song. This is phenomenal. It reminds me a lot of Eurovision, so maybe I like it a bit because of that. I think that this is amazing. The singer has fantastic vocals. The song sounds great. I saw a clip of the rehearsal and I loved it. I just love her outfit on stage and everything. This is really, really good. I think this has a lot of potential, and I think there will be some high notes and some vocal moments that are going to make this stand out even more. I think Alaska really has a shot at the final here. When I was listening to it, I was like, you know, this can be a winner of the entire song contest. I don't want to say that just yet. You know, of course, this hasn't qualified just yet, but I think this has a shot at least being in like the top 10 or the top 5. Definitely the top 10. In my opinion, this is top 10 material for the American Song Contest, just based off of what we have so far. I will say the song isn't super unique. I have heard songs like this before, mostly in Eurovision, so there is that kind of generic factor, so I will give it a 9 out of 10. I don't know how inspired it is. Like, I can hear similar stuff in Eurovision, so that's why I don't give it a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. It does feel a little bit derivative, but overall, I think the singer is fantastic. She really lifts this song song up with her voice and also with her performance just from what we got in that snippet of the rehearsal. So I actually think that this has a shot at doing really, really well in ASC, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Right now, this is my second place of Heat 3, very closely behind my number 1. So with that, we're gonna move on to my number 1 spot, which is, you probably guessed this, Texas, with the song Mr. Independent. Now, this song I wasn't so sure about at first, kind of took a look at it, look at the artist, and I was like, okay, basic kind of TikToker making a song, like how good can this be? Listening to it, I actually was pleasantly surprised. This is really well produced, this is really sonically interesting, and it has some of those darker elements that I was talking about with New Jersey that I like as well. There's kind of like a dark atmosphere to this song, which I love, and I think the song does such a good job with that too. Somehow this sounds familiar, I'm not sure from where, but regardless, this still sounds fresh, this sounds new, and overall, this is a quality entry from Texas. I think this does have a shot at doing really well. The rehearsal was excellent. The staging is so good. The vocals were pretty much on point. The visuals were really, really good. The staging, the lights, everything, I loved it. Yeah, this is definitely going to be qualifying. This is fantastic. Definitely deserving of my first place here. 9.5 out of 10. I really like this song. I like just the little bit that I saw from the staging. This looks good. This has a load of potential, and I think that this is a definite qualifier and potential winner. So with that, that concludes my top 12 for Heat 3 of the American Song Contest. I was really impressed with this selection, to be honest. There weren't that many songs that I actively disliked. There were songs I had criticisms for, sure. In my opinion, there was more good than bad about these songs, and I really appreciate what we're getting. Sure, some songs are gonna go straight to the department store playlist, but others, like Mr. Independent, are really impressive and show that America's got it too. Again, a lot of the criticisms I had for the American Song Contest that I made in my last American Song Contest video, they still remain, right? I do want a bit more linguistic diversity. That's why I gave songs that I find a little bit boring, like Florida, a lot of points for that, because I think that is super important in this competition. And I also think that there isn't that much cultural diversity, at least that we're seeing so far. In America, there aren't super huge cultural differences from state to state, although I do appreciate what the contest is delivering though, because we do have songs that bring something different, like Florida's song, like Puerto Rico's song. That is still something that I think Eurovision does a lot better. I try not to compare this too much to Eurovision, but regardless, this has impressed me. This heat definitely is very strong, which is a big part of why I decided to cover it. So again, I still want this contest to succeed. I still am holding out hope that this will be very, very good in the end, and that this might be an annual thing if it goes well. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the American Song Contest. Please leave your top 12s down below, and let me know what you want to see next. And with that, thank you again so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace.